What up? What up? Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment below. I'm Tom Smoke, and we just got done doing the P90X Week 9, Day 3, shoulders and arms. And boy, we had a good crowd tonight. We had 6,000 people show up to the show. Hell yeah. I'm glad you guys made it. I hope some of you guys were inspired to see how easy it is to get ripped from home. Because if you think that you could do that, you could probably do it. That's all I'm saying. So if you saw the workout and you did it with me, you should be proud of yourself. I'm proud of myself. Billions of people didn't do that, but I did. You did. You know, we showed up to the party ready to dance, and we did. And now the dance is over, and we can collect our prize. Shoulders and arms. Yeah, we crushed it. We did some abs at the end. It was tough, but not as tough as us. Oh, man. We crushed it. It was good. We had a lot of new subscribers. Welcome aboard. I hope you guys check out my other videos and see the training that I did starting from the beginning. Because again, getting ripped with Tom Smoke is just that. I'm showing you how I'm getting ripped from front to back, start to finish, the ins and the outs. I'm not doing any peptides. I'm not doing any TRT. I'm not doing any kind of GLPs or any kind of funny business, no fat burners. Like, I got videos of me trying different things from the vitamin shop, over the counter supplements that anybody can get. And I've got honest reviews of what I thought about them. You know, the main thing is protein. This is one of the main things I get, Muscle Feast. It's cinnamon roll flavor. This one's pretty damn good. They got a strawberry cheesecake one that's just, it's great. They got a handful of other flavors that's nice. But there's other protein brands out there. There's tons of people out there. You know, Enhanced makes really good protein pancakes. Those are dope. If you get a hold of some protein pancakes from Enhanced, you know, I'd be open to a sponsorship for sure. I eat the hell out of some Enhanced pancakes. But there's so many different things out there. The barbells, candy bars, you know, pure protein, like all these things that are out there to try. I've had a lot of these different things to check out just to see if it's bogus or if it's good to add into the workout supplements. But in all honesty, you know, we got creatine, which is one of the main things that I've been asked about. I do this in the morning, 1 scoop, 5 grams, and I do that with my coffee and a scoop of protein. And that with 3 eggs works well in a cut diet. You know, the calories are low, protein's high, and it got enough food volume to kind of keep you full for a couple hours. Generally, I'll eat breakfast in the morning an hour or two after I wake up, and then maybe 6 hours later, I'll have my lunch, and then maybe another 6 hours later, I'll have a dinner meal, you know, or some kind of snack. But if you're in a diet, you have to structure your meals and you have to count your calories and you have to count your macros and fit it all in. So, you know, I've got diet tips and other things I've went through in my other shorts videos and in other videos I've made where I just try to explain different tips and ideas for low calorie meals. You know, all the information's out there on YouTube. You know, all the information's out there on the internet. You can find stuff, you know, there's tons of information out there, tons of ways to skin a cat, so they say, you know, and you got to figure out what works best for you. But for me, I'm stripping it down to the bare minimum, doing the least possible that I can do. You know, I'm not trying to spend 5 hours every day working on my physique. I'm not trying to run 20 miles, you know, every day or, you know, every week or whatever. I'm doing what's going to get me an aesthetic, athletic physique and make me stronger. You know, I'm doing functional things that work kinetic movements. Like Sunday, we had lifting exercises where we reach down in a low squat and then we turn around and we raise it over our head. So that's working like a pickup and a lift muscle chain. So different things like that give you functional muscle connections to do things that are relative to life in general. And you'll find that as you get older, isolated movements have limitations on what they're good for. That's cool for bodybuilders that are trying to, specifically target muscles one at a time. But if you're trying to get just fit in general, if you want to play ball with your kids, if you want to be able to play ball with your coworkers or your homies, if you're in your 30s or 40s and you want to go play basketball, you're a fat fuck. You can't go play basketball. But if you look like me and if you're athletic, if you're in shape, you're going to be running circles around your homies. Or if your homies are in shape, you're going to be fit just like them, and you guys are all going to be, working, having fun, playing sports, and being fit together. And I've seen sports teams and guys that are older that are so sloppy and fat. Why are they even playing basketball? Like, they should be ashamed of themselves, saying that that's like an official sports team, not just like some random guys meet up at a park and start throwing a ball. Like, they were serious about the team, and they don't look serious. They look like a fucking joke. But you get older, you think about your health and you think about your kids, you think about going and doing stuff. And if you're fat and out of shape, you can't do that. If you're spending money on health care, you can't spend money on things you want. But, just for feeling's sake, if you're 50 or 60 and you feel like shit, you're going to feel even worse when you're 70 and 80 if you even live that long. And when you're young, you don't think about that shit. So you get older, you start having these thoughts like, man, I'm getting older. Like, damn, my brother, talking about a heart disease, or yo, I got a homie had a stroke, or got homie having the bypass surgery on like the gut bypass, or a fucking, heart attack or something. Like, that shit's real. You might have coworkers that are having heart attacks, that are having, diabetes diagnosis. Now they're taking insulin and stuff. Like, you don't want to be that guy getting the news from your doctor when you're in your 40s, when you're in your 50s, and the doc's tapping a clipboard saying that the test results came back and they ain't looking good. Because then you're going to have a serious talk about what options you got. At least now you watching this video, you're seeing how to get ripped, how to build muscle and lose fat from home, doing 1-hour workouts with body weights and dumbbells. You can make that choice now to do the stuff that I'm doing, to take my advice, take the advice of the other guys, and take action. Because I'm serious. If you're watching my workouts, if you're seeing me do this shit and you think to yourself, that's easy, I can do it, I challenge you, then fucking do it. Just do it. Show up and start doing it. Retard max. Push play. Do the dance. Eat something. But you're going to have to be mindful if you got bad habits. You're going to have to train yourself, retrain yourself, whatever you want to call it. You got to change them habits, and you have to form new habits. And if you're drinking, if you're smoking, if you're eating fast food, cakes, donuts, candies, sweet teas, chocolate, milk, and you got kids, think about them. If you got kids and they're way overweight, they're only going to get more overweight in the next 10, 15 years, and you ain't helping them. But if you can get ahead of that shit, you can recognize that the habits you got today ain't very good, and you can work over the next 4 or 5 years, 10 years, and get those habits back in check. By the time them kids are adults, you'll be setting them up for success when they get out into the real world. And they're not going to be suffering, flying blind, living off fast food and ramen noodles and bullshit. They'll be self-sufficient, independent, young adults. They'll be better prepared for the world than we were going out as young adults. With strong support from their family who's there for them, like it's supposed to be. But anyway, just another reason why you need to get in shape, fellas. Your family depends on you. They can't make you get in shape. They can't make you get healthy. They can't, do it for you. They can want it all day. They can love you, at the risk of sacrificing themselves, but they can't make you do things. They can't do it for you. So think about that. And as you get in shape, as you're making those changes, as you're getting, losing fat. I started out at 215 and slowly it came off. I started off working out at 176 pounds, something like that. And I was able to cut down to 155 or so on the first diet. And then I got hurt and I had to maintain 155 for like 5 months. But I didn't get heavier because I was focused. I was locked in. I knew I had to exercise, but I was held back because of my injuries. And it was self-inflicted. I went too hard in the workout. I was too careless. I was too, I don't know, I was too full of myself. I wasn't humble. But I tell you, you do home workouts and you expose your weaknesses and you get hurt off of some light weights, you will become humble. You will surprise yourself and say, damn, it wasn't that heavy, but that fucked me up real bad. And you'll think twice about showing off when nobody's around. You know what I'm saying? You'll think twice about being a dummy. But when I was ready to work out, when I felt comfortable, I was still hurting. I was still sore. January last year, I still had muscle soreness in my shoulder. I was able to relocate a bicep tendon during a one arm plank. It was the most amazing thing. And I can't, say that it happened to anybody else in the whole world, but my doctor told me I had arthritis in my shoulder from pain and range of motion issues. And when I did this one arm plank, the muscle slipped back into place. And at the time, I couldn't go past the plane, like the side of my body. But then once it popped back into place, I was able to go all the way. It just instantaneously. So muscles do things like that. And your doctor might not be very helpful. You may have muscular imbalances where one side of a muscle is stronger than another side. So it's pulling in different ways. Like it's muscles are so sophisticated. It's just they have specialists for muscles. Okay. So think about that. And you may have to go to a muscle specialist to have them look at your muscle insertions, your myofascia, and other things. And really, some of that shit is intense and it hurts to reposition your muscles. But if it has to be done, sometimes you have to deal with pain and soreness to get to the point where you're not sore anymore. But I can yap sometimes. I do apologize, y'all, and I do appreciate it if you watch it all the way to the end. Golly, I'm super excited about the end of the 90-day challenge. We got 4.5 more weeks to go. Tomorrow is yoga. I really don't know how many people are going to be showing up to the party tomorrow night, but based on the turnout so far this week, we have had nearly 15,000 people showing up to the party just in the last 3 days. That's amazing. And for everybody that's found the channel, welcome. I hope you are inspired that you can do this. I'm so serious. You can do the same thing that I'm doing from home. I don't have any fancy equipment. I'm not taking any kind of crazy supplements. I'm not, there's nothing special about me that I know of. I've had blood tests. I've had, physical exams, normal stuff. I'm as average as it gets. But I was overweight. I was feeling like shit. And I saw the forecast of my life, brother, and it didn't look good. And the only one that could change it was me. And it started with the food, it started with the drinking, it started with the exercise. So I had to make changes and I had to walk the walk. And it's not easy, but all you got to do is walk down the walk. You don't make stops at the liquor store. You don't make stops at the Burger King or the Taco Bell. You don't make stops at the Crumble Cookies or the Dunkin' Donuts. You focus on what matters. You matter. Your health matters. Your heart matters. Your family matters. Your wife and your kids matter. They need you to be healthy. They need you to be able to work and earn money and live and be happy. And if you hate your life because you're falling apart and you're a fat fucking slob, that energy is going to go onto your family and they're going to feel that. And maybe they're eating the same thing that you're eating because you're leading the fat parade at home. And maybe if you started eating something different, maybe if you took the initiative and got some different shit to eat, they would eat the same thing and then they would end up being healthier based on what your choices are. Because that's what a dad does. A dad is a leader. You're a man. And if you're 40 plus and you're fat, you got no business going to fast food anyway. Take control, man. Do what you got to do and get in shape. And if you're on body game, if you're losing the weight, if you're making progress, congratulations. Be proud of yourself, man. Because a lot of people ain't doing it. They're scared, they're shy, they're timid. They'd rather formulate and plan and strategize. They'd rather do that than act, than to read hard max. I saw the confusion from the gym. I saw all the other, gobbledygook and hocus pocus with the personal training, with all the different gym machines. All the machines in the gym look almost exactly the same, and they're all isolation movements. Those are all useless to me. I'm not doing rehabilitation like a car crash victim or a fucking hip surgery repair or some kind of torn meniscus, or whatever. Like, I just need regular functional lifting techniques. And I don't lift, I don't have a background in lifting. So I was going to have to pay a personal trainer. I was going to have to buy some kind of lifting program. I was going to have to get a notebook, keep track, make a log, do all this other homework type stuff. And I don't have the time to focus on that. I need something simple. I need something that I can just plop down, do it, and then I can put it away. And that's what the P90X is. It is a curated fitness program from start to finish. And all you do is the dance. You show up, you do the dance, and you just keep doing it. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Do the same thing every day. It's different every day, but you do the same shit. You're working out every day. You're putting in time on the books. You're earning the health. Because you got to pay for the improvements. Otherwise, you're going to pay for the disasters. You got to have the eye of the tiger, the heart of the lion, and the hunger of the wolf. If you want a six pack, you want to get ab veins all the way down. You want to have skin that you can just pull and have no fat in between. You want to be able to just see all your muscles and see the cuts and the deep lines. You don't want to just be soft and round, smooth. You want to see a jaw, not just a solid flap of meat down your neck. You can't even see your Adam's apple. I didn't even know I had an Adam's apple for decades. Never saw this. When I swallowed, I never saw that go up and down. Never. Because I was too fat. But now I can. You know, when you lose the weight, fellas, you're going to get so much more confident. You're going to feel so much better about yourself because you're going to be lighter. You're going to be stronger. Your heart's going to be pumping more. Your brain's going to be clearer. Like everything's going to be on point. Your stats are going to be on max. It's like you drank a vitality potion. And then people want to ask me if I'm on TRT. I don't need TRT, brother. To all these muscles that are jumping off, doing this workout every day, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling ready to pop off any day. Shoot, my test levels are sky high, son. Sky high. I need to get some test reducers. My test is so fucking high. And I've had my test checked. I got normal ranges, nothing crazy. For a 43-year-old man, I don't have low testosterone. And most adult men don't have low testosterone. It's a fucking hoax. It's a gimmick. It's going to come out in another 10 years that they've been hoodwinking motherfuckers because they want money, basically getting you on a subscription service for fucking is bullshit. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Welcome to the channel, y'all. We had so many people show up to the show tonight, and we had a lot of people who subscribe. And really, I'm excited because I want you to know how easy it is to get ripped. I don't want you to waste your time like I wasted my time in the gym doing hours of cardio, hours of lifting, hours of fucking bullshit for nothing. I got abs. I'm ripped. I'm jacked. I'm strong. And I look amazing. And I'm turning heads everywhere I go because I look athletic. I look like Brad Pitt in Fight Club. I don't think I look like him in Troy. But, you know, you walk around with abs and a six-pack and all you got's a little bit of chest fat. I mean, that's pretty fucking lean. But thanks for watching. Check out my other videos for training, diet tips, advice, progress, observations I've made in my journey from being fat and getting fit, getting lean and getting ripped. I'm Tom Smoke. And last year I got ripped from the P90X3 30-minute workout. And this year I'm getting shredded doing the P90X 1-hour workout. So command respect. Have the eye of the tiger, the heart of the lion, and the hunger of the wolf. Prove that you want it bad enough and you're man enough to do the P90X 90-day challenge. You got what it takes. I know you do. But prove it to yourself. And if you're already on your way, well done. But we're not done yet. We got 4.5 more weeks to go. We are getting ripped and shredded in real life, people. Shout out to my viewers. Shout out to my guys watching live every night at midnight. Hell yeah, we're getting ripped, baby.